Lisa Martinez pressed her face against the cold glass doors of St. Mary's Cathedral. Inside, she could see her 5-year-old daughter Emma wearing a beautiful white dress. The little girl looked around the church with big eyes, searching for someone. Lisa knew Emma was looking for her. "You can't go in there." The voice behind her was cold and mean. Lisa turned around to see Carl Morrison, her ex-husband's father. He wore an expensive black suit and had the same cruel smile that his son Jake always had. "This is a private ceremony. Family only. Emma is my daughter too," Lisa said quietly. Her hand shook as she spoke. "I gave birth to her. I raised her for 3 years before Jake took her away." Carl laughed, but it was not a happy sound. "You work in the asteroid mines. You fix broken ships. You smell like oil and metal. Look at yourself." He pointed at her simple blue dress. It was the best dress she owned, but it looked cheap next to the fancy clothes everyone else wore. "Do you really think you belong with decent people?" Lisa felt tears in her eyes, but she did not let them fall. She had worked hard to buy this dress. She had saved money for months just to look nice for Emma's baptism. But Carl Morrison was right about one thing. She did not belong here. Not with these rich people who lived in big houses and never got their hands dirty. Through the glass, she watched Jake Morrison hold Emma's hand. He wore a perfect white suit and smiled at everyone who talked to him. Jake had been different when they first met. Back then, he worked on mining ships just like her. But when his father brought him back to New Terra Colony to run the family business, everything changed. Jake changed. "The ceremony is starting," Carl said. "You should leave now. Don't make this harder than it needs to be." Lisa wanted to fight. She wanted to bang on the doors and demand to see her daughter. But she knew it would only make things worse for Emma. The Morrison family had lawyers and money and powerful friends. Lisa had nothing but grease under her fingernails and a broken heart. She was about to walk away when a man stepped up beside her. He was tall with gray hair and kind eyes. His suit looked expensive, but he wore it like he was used to nice things. Not like someone trying to show off. "Excuse me," the man said to Carl Morrison. His voice was calm but strong. "Is there a problem here?" Carl's face turned red. "This doesn't concern you, stranger. This is family business." The man looked at Lisa with gentle eyes. "Are you all right, miss?" Lisa did not know what to say. Strangers usually did not help people like her. But this man seemed different. He seemed like he really cared. "I'm fine," she said softly. "I was just leaving." "No, you weren't," the man said firmly. He turned to Carl Morrison. "I heard what you said. This woman is the child's mother. She has every right to be here." Carl stepped closer to the stranger. "Do you know who I am? I own half the mining operations on this colony. I can make your life very difficult." The man smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. "Actually, I know exactly who you are, Carl Morrison. And I know things about your business that might surprise you." Something in the man's voice made Carl step back. Lisa could see fear in the rich man's eyes. Who was this stranger? "My name is Ryan Brooks," the man said to Lisa. "And you are?" "Lisa Martinez," she whispered. Ryan nodded. "Lisa, would you like to tell me why you're not inside with your daughter?" Lisa looked at Carl Morrison. He was staring at Ryan Brooks like he had seen a ghost. The name meant something to him, but Lisa did not know what. "They say I don't belong," Lisa said. "They say I'm not good enough for Emma." Ryan's face grew hard. "I see. And what do you do for work, Lisa?" "I fix ships in the asteroid belt. I work on fusion engines mostly. Sometimes life support systems." Ryan's eyes lit up with interest. "Fusion engines? That's skilled work. Very important work. Without people like you, our ships couldn't travel between the stars." Lisa felt surprised. Most people thought her job was dirty and simple. But Ryan Brooks spoke like he understood how hard it was. "Lisa," Ryan said quietly, "I have a question for you. Do you know what your ex-husband does for business?" "He runs mining operations," Lisa said, "like his father." Ryan nodded slowly. What if I told you that Jake Morrison has been selling ship parts to people he shouldn't? Parts that are supposed to go to Earth defense ships? Lisa felt cold inside. That's illegal. Those parts protect Earth's colonies. Yes, it is illegal, Ryan said. Very illegal. Carl Morrison's face went white. You can't prove anything. Ryan pulled out a small device that looked like a phone but more advanced. Actually, I can. I've been watching your family's business for months. Earth Defense Intelligence takes these things very seriously. Lisa could not believe what she was hearing. Jake was selling military parts? Parts that were supposed to protect people like Emma? Inside the church, the priest was beginning the baptism ceremony. Emma stood by the water, still looking around for her mother. Lisa's heart broke watching her daughter search for her. Lisa, Ryan said softly, I want to help you. But I need to know something first. Do you want revenge against Jake and his family? Or do you want what's best for your daughter? Lisa thought about all the pain Jake had caused her. All the nights she cried because she missed Emma. All the times Carl Morrison made her feel small and worthless. Part of her wanted to hurt them back, but when she looked at Emma through the glass, she knew the answer. I want Emma to be happy, Lisa said. I want to be her mother again. I don't care about revenge. Ryan smiled for the first time since he arrived. Good. That tells me everything I need to know about you. Lisa Martinez, I think you and I are going to be partners. Partners? Lisa asked. I need someone with your skills for a very important job. And you need someone with my resources to help you get your daughter back. I think we can help each other. Carl Morrison started to say something, but Ryan held up his hand. Carl, I suggest you go inside and enjoy the ceremony. Lisa and I have business to discuss. We'll talk more later. As Carl Morrison walked away with shaking hands, Lisa felt hope for the first time in months. She did not know who Ryan Brooks really was or what he wanted. But for the first time since losing Emma, she felt like someone was on her side. Through the glass doors, Emma looked toward them and smiled when she saw her mother. Lisa waved back, her heart full of love and new hope. Lisa followed Ryan Brooks to a small coffee shop near the cathedral. The place was quiet and almost empty. Ryan ordered 2 cups of coffee and found a table in the back corner where no one could hear them talk. You said you know things about the Morrison family, Lisa said as she sat down. What kind of things? Ryan looked around to make sure they were alone. Then he pulled out his phone and showed her a picture. It was an official Earth Defense badge with his name on it. The badge said Commander Ryan Brooks, Special Investigations. I'm not just a rich man, Lisa, Ryan said quietly. I work for Earth Defense Intelligence. For the last 2 years, I've been tracking people who sell military supplies to enemies of Earth. Lisa felt her hand shake as she held the coffee cup. Enemies? You mean aliens? Ryan nodded. The war with the Centauri Alliance ended 5 years ago. We won, but just barely. Many people think the aliens gave up and went home, but they didn't. They're still out there, watching us, planning their return. Lisa remembered the war. Everyone did. For 3 years, humanity fought against 5 different alien races who wanted to stop Earth from spreading to new worlds. The aliens had better ships and stronger weapons. Most people thought Earth would lose. How did we win? Lisa asked. The aliens had better technology than us. Ryan smiled, but it was a sad smile. We won because humans are different from aliens. We think differently. We fight differently. The aliens expected us to follow rules and fight like they do. But humans don't follow rules when their families are in danger. He took a drink of his coffee and continued. I was there, Lisa. I commanded a ship called the Earth's Hope. We fought in the Battle of Proxima. Do you know what happened there? Lisa shook her head. She had heard the name, but not the details. The aliens surrounded our fleet. They had twice as many ships and better weapons. Their plan was perfect. By all the rules of space combat, we should have died that day. Ryan's eyes grew distant as he remembered. But humans don't follow the rules. What did you do? We did something the aliens never expected. We turned off our engines and pretended to surrender. When they moved close to capture us, we used our mining charges to blow up their lead ship. Then we flew straight through the explosion and attacked them from inside their own formation. Lisa could picture it in her mind. It sounded crazy and dangerous. Did it work? It worked because no alien commander would ever think to do something so risky. They planned everything carefully. They followed strategies that worked for thousands of years, but humans are willing to try new things, even if they might fail. Ryan pulled out another device and showed Lisa a star map. Red dots mark places where alien ships have been seen recently. The aliens are coming back, Lisa. They spent 5 years studying how we fight. They think they understand us now. But they're wrong. Humans keep changing. We keep getting better. Lisa looked at the red dots on the map. There were so many of them. What does this have to do with Jake and his family? Jake Morrison has been selling Earth defense ship parts to alien buyers. Not just any parts, the most important parts. Shield generators, weapon systems, engine components. Parts that took our best engineers years to develop. Lisa felt sick. But why would he do that? Those parts protect human colonies. Money? Ryan said simply. The aliens pay very well for human technology. Carl Morrison's mining business was failing. They needed money to keep their fancy lifestyle. So they started selling things they shouldn't sell. Lisa thought about Emma inside. The cathedral. If the aliens attack again, Emma could be hurt. All our children could be hurt, Ryan said. That's why I need your help, Lisa. My help? I just fix ships. I'm not a soldier or a spy. Ryan leaned forward. Lisa, do you remember the new fusion drive systems that came out 3 years ago? The ones that made our ships twice as fast? Of course. Every mechanic knows about those drives. They changed everything. Lisa paused. Wait, how do you know I worked on fusion drives? Ryan smiled. Because I looked up your work record. Lisa Martinez, former lead engineer on the Asteroid Belt Development Project. You didn't just work on those drives. You helped create them. Lisa felt surprised. She had worked on the drives, but as part of a big team. I was just one of many engineers. No, Lisa, you were the one who figured out how to make the drive safe for small ships. The official reports say the breakthrough came from Dr. Franklin Webb, but I read the classified files. The real innovation came from a mechanic in the asteroid belt, a woman who understood engines better than anyone. Lisa remembered those days. She had been so excited about her work. But then everything fell apart. The drives were stolen. Someone took all our research and sold it. I was blamed for the security breach. That's why I can't work on military projects anymore. Ryan nodded. I know. And I know who really stole the research. Lisa's heart stopped. Who? Jake Morrison. He was working on the mining ships that carried the research data. He copied everything and sold it to alien agents. Then he made sure you were blamed for the theft. Lisa felt anger burning inside her chest. Jake had destroyed her career. He had taken Emma away from her, and now she learned he had also stolen her life's work. The aliens used your drive technology to build faster ships, Ryan continued. They're using human engineering against us. But they don't understand how it really works. They can copy the technology, but they can't improve it like humans can. What do you want me to do? Ryan pulled out a folder filled with papers. I want you to help me build something the aliens will never expect. A new type of ship that uses human thinking in ways they can't understand. Lisa opened the folder. Inside were blueprints for ship designs unlike anything she had ever seen. The engines were familiar, based on her fusion drive work, but connected to systems she didn't recognize. This is impossible, Lisa said as she studied the plans. These systems shouldn't work together. Exactly, Ryan said with excitement. An alien engineer would never try to combine these technologies. They would say it's too dangerous or too unpredictable. But humans are good at making impossible things work. Lisa looked at the blueprints more carefully. Slowly, she began to see how the different systems could work together. It was crazy and risky, just like the battle Ryan had described. But it might actually work. If we can build this, Ryan said, we can protect Earth's colonies from the next alien attack. We can make sure children like Emma grow up safe and free. Lisa looked through the cathedral window. The baptism ceremony was ending. Emma was smiling as the priest blessed her with water. Lisa wanted to protect that smile forever. What's the catch? Lisa asked. The catch is that we have to work in secret. Jake Morrison and his family can't know what we're doing. And we have to get you cleared of the theft charges so you can work on classified projects again. Lisa thought about everything Ryan had told her. Jake had destroyed her career and taken her daughter. Now he was helping aliens who wanted to hurt all humans. All right, Lisa said. I'll help you. But I want something. In return, name it. Lisa looked at Emma through the window. I want my daughter back. I want to be her mother again. Ryan reached across the table and shook her hand. Lisa Martinez, you have a deal. Together, we're going to save humanity and get your daughter back. As they shook hands, Lisa felt something she hadn't felt in years. She felt like she had a purpose. Again, she was going to build something amazing, something that would protect all the children of Earth. The aliens thought they understood humans now. They were about to learn how wrong they were. 3 days later, Lisa met Ryan at his hotel room. He had rented the entire top floor of the new Terra Grand Hotel. The room was filled with computers, screens, and equipment she didn't recognize. It looked like a military command center. Welcome to my mobile office, Ryan said as he let her in. Everything we do here is completely secure. No one can listen to our conversations or see what we're working on. Lisa looked around at all the technology. This must have cost a fortune. Money isn't a problem for me, Ryan said. My family owns Brooks Aerospace. We build the ships that carry humans to new worlds. But right now, I'm more interested in your skills than my money. Ryan led her to a large table covered with papers and computer tablets. I've been busy since we last talked. Look at this. He showed her a tablet with financial records on the screen. The numbers were confusing, but Lisa could see they were very large amounts of money. These are Jake Morrison's bank accounts, Ryan explained. For the past 2 years, he's been receiving payments from shell companies. Companies that don't really exist. They're fronts for alien agents. Lisa studied the numbers. How much money are we talking about? Over 10 million credits. That's enough to buy a small starship. Jake has been very busy selling things he shouldn't sell. Ryan pulled up another screen. This one showed a list of ship parts and equipment. Lisa recognized many of the items from her work in the asteroid belt. These are the parts Jake has been selling. Shield generators, weapon systems, navigation computers, and most importantly, fusion drive components based on your original designs. Lisa felt angry again. He's been selling my work to aliens who want to kill humans. Not just selling, Ryan said grimly. He's been improving it for them. Look at this. The next screen showed technical diagrams. Lisa could see her original fusion drive design, but with changes and improvements she hadn't made. Someone has been modifying your work, Ryan said. Someone who understands human engineering, but is making it work better for alien ships. Lisa studied the diagrams carefully. The modifications were clever, but they were wrong for human ships. These changes would make the drives more efficient, but less flexible. Human ships need to be able to change and adapt quickly. Exactly, Ryan said with excitement. You see the difference immediately. This is why I need you on my team. You understand something that most people don't. What's that? Ryan pulled up a new screen showing battle footage from the Centauri War. Lisa watched as human ships fought against alien vessels. The human ships looked smaller and weaker, but they moved in ways that seemed impossible. Watch this battle carefully, Ryan said. count how many times the human ships changed their tactics. Lisa watched as the human fleet started with one formation, then quickly changed to another, then another. The alien ships tried to respond, but they were always one step behind. I count at least 12 different tactical changes, Lisa said. 12 changes in 15 minutes, Ryan confirmed. Now watch how the alien ships respond. Lisa could see that the alien ships were more organized. They moved in perfect formations and used weapons with deadly precision. But every time they adapted to what the humans were doing, the humans had already changed to something new. The aliens are better at planning, Lisa said. But humans are better at changing plans. That's the key difference, Ryan said. Aliens think in terms of perfection. They spend years developing the perfect strategy, the perfect weapon, the perfect ship. But humans think in terms of adaptation. We build things that can be changed and improved quickly. Ryan showed her another video. This one was from a human shipyard. Lisa watched as workers took apart old ships and rebuilt them with new equipment. In just a few days. This is what the aliens don't understand, Ryan said. They saw us win the war, so they tried to copy our technology, but they're using it the wrong way. They're trying to perfect it instead of adapting it. Lisa began to understand. So when Jake sells them our technology, they use it to build better versions of their old ships. But they don't use it to build ships that can change and adapt. Exactly, and that gives us an advantage. We can build ships that work in ways they can't predict. Ryan pulled out the blueprints he had shown her before. This is why your fusion drive work is so important. You didn't just build a better engine. You built an engine that could be modified and improved by mechanics in the field. Lisa looked at the blueprints with new understanding. You want to build ships that can be rebuilt and modified during combat. I want to build ships that can become completely different ships if necessary. Ships that can adapt to any situation in ways that alien commanders will never expect. Ryan showed her a new diagram. It was a ship design, but it looked more like a collection of parts that could be put together in different ways. This is the modular combat vessel, Ryan explained. The same basic components can be arranged to create a fast scout ship, a heavy fighter, or a support vessel. The crew can reconfigure the entire ship in less than an hour. Lisa studied the design. It was brilliant and crazy at the same time. This would be incredibly difficult to build and dangerous to operate. Dangerous for who? Ryan asked with a smile. The aliens have been studying our old tactics for 5 years. They think they know how we fight. But what happens when we show up with ships that can completely change their function in the middle of a battle? Lisa could picture it. Alien commanders would make plans to fight human scout ships, then suddenly find themselves facing heavy combat vessels built from the same components. The aliens would have to start over with their planning every time we reconfigured, Lisa said. And while they're planning, we're adapting and changing again. It's the same advantage we had in the original war, but taken to a new level. Ryan pulled up one more screen. This one showed the current positions of alien ships near human space. The aliens are getting closer, Lisa. Our deep space monitoring stations report more alien ships every week. They're not just scouting anymore. They're positioning for an attack. Lisa looked at the red dots on the star map. There were more than there had been 3 days ago. How long do we have? 6 months, maybe less. That's how long we have to build our new ships and train crews to use them. That's how long we have to give humanity the tools it needs to win another war. Lisa felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. What if I can't do it? What if my ideas don't work? Ryan put his hand on her shoulder. Lisa, 5 years ago you helped build the engines that saved humanity. You did it once as part of a team. Now I'm asking you to do it again, but this time you'll be leading the team. Lisa looked at Emma's picture on her phone. Her daughter was depending on her, and so were millions of other children across human space. All right, Lisa said, but I'll need access to a proper engineering facility. And I'll need good people to work with. I can arrange that. But first, we need to deal with Jake Morrison. As long as he's selling our secrets to the aliens, we can't move forward safely. Lisa nodded. What's the plan? Ryan smiled. We're going to give him something to sell. Something that will make the aliens very confident about their chances of winning. And then we're going to show them why confidence is dangerous when you're fighting humans. Lisa looked at the modular ship designs again. She was beginning to see not just how they would work, but how they could be used to trick the aliens into making fatal mistakes. You want to use Jake as bait, she said. I want to use Jake as a weapon, Ryan replied. A weapon that will help us win the war before it starts. Lisa felt excitement building inside her. For the first time in years, she was going to work on something that mattered. Something that would protect Emma and all the other children of humanity. The aliens thought they understood human engineering. They were about to learn the difference between copying and creating. Lisa and Ryan waited outside the Morrison family mansion as the sun set over New Terra Colony. The house was huge, with tall white walls and gardens that must have cost more money than Lisa made in 10 years. Expensive cars lined the driveway as guests arrived for Jake's victory party. He's celebrating, Lisa said quietly. He thinks he won because he kept me away from Emma's baptism. Ryan checked his tablet one more time. He's about to learn what winning really costs. Are you ready for this? Lisa nodded, though her hands were shaking. In her bag, she carried a small device that looked like a normal tablet computer. But this device could detect alien technology from 50 feet away. Ryan had given it to her that morning. Remember, Ryan said, we're not here to start a fight. We're here to gather evidence and make Jake an offer he can't refuse. They walked up to the front door. A security guard in a black suit tried to stop them, but Ryan showed him an official badge. The guard's face went pale when he read it. Earth Defense Intelligence, the guard said nervously. I'm sorry, sir. Go right in. The house was full of rich people drinking expensive wine and talking about business. Lisa felt out of place in her simple dress, but Ryan walked through the crowd like he belonged there. People noticed him and whispered to each other. Some of them seemed to recognize his name. They found Jake Morrison in the main living room, surrounded by friends and business partners. He was telling a story about some successful mining deal, making big gestures with his hands. When he saw Lisa, his face changed from happy to angry. What is she doing here? Jake demanded. I told you to stay away from my family. Actually, Ryan said, stepping forward, I brought her here. We need to talk, Jake. Jake looked at Ryan with confusion. Who are you? This is a private party. My name is Commander Ryan Brooks, Earth Defense Intelligence, and we need to discuss your business activities. The room went quiet. All the guests stopped talking and turned to look at them. Jake's face went white. I don't know what you're talking about, Jake said. But his voice was shaking. Ryan pulled out his tablet and showed it to Jake. These are records of payments made to your accounts from Centauri Trading Company. That company doesn't exist, Jake. It's a front for alien agents. Jake tried to grab the tablet, but Ryan pulled it away. You can't prove anything. Those could be fake records. Could be, Ryan agreed. But they're not. Lisa, would you mind checking Jake's jacket with your scanner? Lisa pulled out the device Ryan had given her. She pointed it at Jake, and immediately, it started beeping. The sound was loud enough for everyone in the room to hear. What's that noise? Asked one of the guests. That's the sound of alien technology, Lisa said loudly. This scanner detects alien-made devices. Mr. Morrison is carrying something that wasn't built by humans. Jake backed away from Lisa. That's impossible. I don't have anything like that. But the scanner kept beeping. Lisa followed the sound until she was standing right next to Jake. The beeping was very loud now. It's in your jacket pocket, Lisa said. Ryan stepped forward. Jake Morrison, I'm placing you under arrest for treason and conspiracy with enemy agents. Please turn out your pockets. You can't do this, Jake said, but he was looking around the room for help. All his friends and business partners were staring at him with shock and fear. Turn out your pockets, Jake, Ryan said again, or I'll have colony security do it for you. With shaking hands, Jake reached into his jacket and pulled out a small device. It looked like a communication device, but it had strange symbols instead of normal letters. That's a Centauri communication device, Ryan said to the crowd. They use quantum encryption that's impossible to break. The only way to get one is directly from Centauri agents. One of Jake's business partners stepped away from him. Jake, what have you done? It's not what it looks like, Jake said desperately. I was just ... I need the money. The mining business is difficult right now. So you decided to sell out your own species? Lisa asked. Her voice was loud and angry. You sold technology that protects human lives, technology that I helped create. Jake looked at Lisa with surprise. You're just a mechanic. I'm the engineer who designed the fusion drives your alien friends are using, Lisa said. The drives you stole and sold to them? The drives that were supposed to protect colonies like this one. The room erupted in angry voices. Jake's friends and business partners realized what he had done. He hadn't just committed treason. He had put all their lives in danger. Where's Carl Morrison? Ryan asked. I want to talk to Jake's father. He's in his study, one of the guests said. Down the hall. Ryan and Lisa found Carl Morrison sitting behind a large desk, trying to look calm, but Lisa could see sweat on his forehead. Commander Brooks, Carl said. I'm sure we can work this out like civilized people. Can we? Ryan asked. He pulled out another tablet and showed it to Carl. These are shipping records from your mining company. For the past 2 years, you've been sending supply ships to coordinates in empty space. Supply ships that come back empty. Carl's face went gray. Those are legitimate business operations. No, they're not, Lisa said. She pulled out her scanner again and pointed at Carl's desk. It immediately started beeping. You have alien technology too, Lisa said. How long have you been working with them? Carl tried to stand up, but his legs were shaking. You don't understand. The aliens made us an offer. They said they would leave New Terra Colony alone if we helped them understand human technology. And you believed them? Ryan asked. They have ships, Commander. Hundreds of ships. They showed us pictures of what they did to other worlds that refused to cooperate. Lisa felt sick. So, you decided to help them destroy other human colonies instead? We were trying to save our own people, Carl said weakly. You were trying to save your own money, Ryan corrected. And in the process, you've given the aliens everything they need to attack all human colonies. Carl sat down heavily in his chair. What do you want from us? Ryan smiled, but it wasn't a friendly smile. I want you to keep working with the aliens. But from now on, you're going to work for us too. Carl looked confused. I don't understand. You're going to be double agents, Ryan explained. You're going to keep selling technology to the aliens. But it's going to be technology that we want them to have. Technology that will help us win the next war. Lisa understood what Ryan was planning. You want to give them fake improvements. Things that look good but actually make their ships weaker. Exactly. Ryan said, Carl, you're going to tell the aliens that you found a way to make fusion drives even more powerful. You're going to sell them modifications that will make their ships faster but less stable. What if they find out? Carl asked fearfully. Then you'll probably die, Ryan said simply. But if you don't help us, you'll definitely go to prison for treason. And the aliens will attack anyway. Carl looked at his hands. Do I have a choice? Everyone has a choice, Lisa said. You can choose to help save humanity, or you can choose to keep helping the aliens destroy us, but you can't choose both. From the living room, they could hear Jake arguing with the other guests. His voice was getting louder and more desperate. What? About Jake? Carl asked. Jake is going to help us too, Ryan said. He's going to continue his communications with the aliens. But from now on, every message he sends will be one that we write. Lisa looked at Carl Morrison, the man who had called. Her worthless and unfit to be near his family was now begging for her help to save his life. "There's one more thing," Lisa said. "I want full custody of Emma. Legal custody. Signed by a judge." Carl nodded quickly. "Yes, of course. Anything you want. I want it in writing, tonight, before we leave this house." Ryan pulled out legal documents. From his briefcase, "I took the liberty of preparing the paperwork. All it needs is your signature." As Carl signed the custody papers, Lisa felt a weight lift from her heart. Emma would be safe with her. And together, they would help protect all the children of humanity from the coming alien attack. The war hadn't started yet, but the first battle had already been won. And it had been won the human way, not with superior technology, but with cleverness, determination, and the willingness to turn enemies into unwilling allies. 2 weeks after the confrontation at the Morrison mansion, Lisa stood in the biggest engineering facility she had ever seen. The Terra Defense Shipyard stretched for miles across the surface of New Terra Colony. Hundreds of workers moved between massive construction bays where new ships were being built. "This is incredible," Lisa said as she walked beside Ryan through the main assembly hall. "I've never seen anything like this." "Neither have the aliens," Ryan replied. "They're used to building ships one at a time, each one exactly like the last. But humans build ships the way humans think, fast, flexible, and ready to change." They stopped in front of a construction bay where workers were assembling something that barely looked like a ship. Instead of the smooth, curved hull of a normal starship, this vessel was made of separate sections that could be connected in different ways. "Is that one of your modular ships?" Lisa asked. "That's the first prototype," Ryan confirmed. "We call it the Terra's Fury in its current configuration. It's a fast attack ship." "But watch this." Ryan spoke into his communication device. "Control room, please demonstrate configuration change Alpha 7. Immediately, the ship began to change. The front section separated and moved to the side. The engine section rotated and connected to what had been the middle of the ship. In just 10 minutes, the ship had become something completely different. Now it's a heavy support vessel," Ryan explained. "Same parts, completely different function. It can carry supplies, provide medical support, or serve as a mobile command center." Lisa watched the transformation with amazement. How many different configurations are possible? With the basic Mark I design, we have 12 primary configurations. But the Mark II will have over 30. And that's where your new fusion drive design comes in. They walked to another section of the shipyard where Lisa's new team was working. She had been given 20 of the best engineers in human space, along with unlimited resources and complete freedom to experiment. "Lisa," called out Dr. Maria Santos, her lead systems engineer, "come look at this. We've made a breakthrough." Lisa hurried over to the testing area where her team was working on a new type of fusion engine. This engine was smaller than her original design, but it produced more power and could be connected to other engines in ways that had never been tried before. "We've solved the connection problem," Maria explained excitedly. "Instead of building one big engine, we can build multiple small engines that work together. If one engine fails, the others keep working. And if we need more power, we just add more engines." Lisa looked at the test results on the computer screen. "This is brilliant. How many engines can we connect?" "We've tested up to 8 engines working together," Maria said. "But theoretically, there's no limit. We could have a ship with 50 engines if we needed to." Ryan joined them at the testing station. "What does this mean for our modular ships?" "It means we can build ships that not only change their shape, but also change their power output," Lisa explained. "A small scout ship could temporarily connect to extra engines and become as powerful as a battleship, and then disconnect the engines and become a small scout ship again," Maria added. "The aliens will never know what they're fighting against." Ryan, smiled with satisfaction. Perfect. The aliens are expecting us to build bigger and better versions of our old ships. Instead, we're building ships that can become anything we need them to be. Lisa's communication device buzzed with an incoming message. It was from Jake Morrison, who is now working as their unwilling spy among the alien agents. The aliens want to know about our new ship construction, Lisa read from the message. They're offering a lot of money for information about our latest designs. Good, Ryan said. What are we going to tell them? Lisa thought for a moment. We'll tell them we're building traditional battleships, bigger and more powerful than anything we've built before. We'll send them fake blueprints showing ships with huge guns and heavy armor, but slow and inflexible. Will they believe it? Maria asked. They'll believe it because it's what they would do, Ryan explained. When aliens want to build better ships, they make them bigger and stronger. They can't imagine building ships that become smaller and more flexible. Over the next 3 months, Lisa's team worked day and night to build humanity's new fleet. The modular ships were unlike anything that had ever been built. Each ship was really a collection of parts that could be put together in dozens of different ways. The engines Lisa designed could be connected and disconnected during flight. A single ship could start a battle as a fast scout, add more engines to become a heavy fighter, then shed the extra engines to become fast again. The testing results are incredible, Maria reported during one of their weekly meetings. Our new ships can outrun anything the aliens have, but they can also stand and fight when necessary. How are the crews adapting to the new systems? Lisa asked. Better than expected, Ryan answered. Human pilots love the flexibility. They're coming up with new ways to use the modular systems that we never thought of. Like what? Yesterday, a test pilot used his ship's engine disconnection system to create a decoy. He detached 2 engines and programmed them to fly in a different direction while his main ship stayed hidden. The enemy sensors followed the engines and completely missed the real ship. Lisa laughed. That's definitely something an alien commander would never think to do. Exactly. The aliens plan for every possibility they can imagine. But humans keep creating possibilities that don't exist in alien imagination. Their work was interrupted by an urgent message from Earth Defense Command. Ryan read it quickly, and his face became serious. What is it? Lisa asked. Long-range sensors have detected a large alien fleet moving toward human space. They'll reach the outer colonies in 6 weeks. Maria looked worried. Are we ready? Lisa looked around the shipyard at the dozens of new ships under construction. Her modular vessels were still being tested, and many were not finished yet. We have 12 ships ready for combat, Ryan said, against a fleet of over 200 alien vessels. 12 ships against 200, Lisa repeated. That's impossible odds. Ryan smiled grimly. Impossible odds are when humans fight best. The question is, can 12 modular ships do what 100 traditional ships cannot? Lisa thought about everything her team had built. The engines that could connect and disconnect in flight. The hull sections that could reconfigure in minutes. The weapon systems that could be moved from ship to ship during battle. The aliens are expecting to fight 12 ships, Lisa said slowly. But what if those 12 ships can become 24 ships? Or 6 ships? Or 3 really big ships? What if they never know exactly what they're fighting against? Can we do that? Maria asked. Lisa looked at her team of engineers, all of them waiting for her answer. These people had worked for months to build something impossible. Now she was asking them to make it even more impossible. We can do it, Lisa said with confidence. But we'll need to modify all our ships for something I call combat reconfiguration. The ships will need to be able to share parts with each other during battle. Share parts? Ryan asked. Imagine a battle where 2 damaged ships combine to make 1 healthy ship. Or where 1 ship splits into 3 smaller ships to confuse the enemy. The aliens plan for fighting against ships that stay the same throughout a battle. They don't plan for fighting against ships that can become completely different ships while they're shooting at them. Maria's eyes lit up with understanding. We're not just building modular ships. We're building a modular fleet. A fleet that can change and adapt faster than the aliens can respond, Lisa agreed. They'll be fighting against something that has never existed before in the history of space warfare. Ryan looked at the construction schedule on his tablet. How long do we need to modify the ships? 4 weeks, Lisa said. If we work day and night, and if everything goes perfectly. And if things don't go perfectly, Lisa smiled, then we'll adapt and find another way. That's what humans do. As alarms began sounding throughout the shipyard, calling all workers to emergency production schedules, Lisa felt a familiar excitement. She was about to help humanity do something impossible again. The aliens were coming with superior numbers and superior technology. But they were about to face something they had never encountered before. Human ships that could think and change as quickly as the humans who flew them. The alarm bells were ringing across New Terra Colony as Lisa ran toward the command center. After 4 weeks of non-stop work, the alien fleet had finally arrived. Through the windows of the defense station, she could see alien ships filling the sky like angry stars. How many ships? Lisa asked as she burst into the command center. 237, Ryan replied grimly. He stood in front of a wall of screens showing the alien fleet positions. They're in perfect formation, just like we expected. Lisa looked at the screen showing human forces. 12 green dots represented their modular ships, tiny against the sea of red alien vessels. Are our ships ready? She asked. As ready as they'll ever be, Captain Mike Torres said from his position at the communication station. He was the commander of the Terra's Fury, the first modular ship Lisa had helped design. The crews had been practicing reconfiguration maneuvers for 2 weeks straight. Emma ran into the command center wearing her school uniform. At 5 years old, she was too young to understand the danger, but she knew her mother was working on something important. Mommy, are the bad ships here? Emma asked, holding Lisa's hand. Lisa knelt down to look Emma in the eyes. Yes, sweetheart. But we have good ships too. Ships that your mommy helped build. Are our ships stronger than the bad ships? Lisa thought about how to answer. The alien ships were bigger, with better weapons and stronger shields. But the human ships had something the aliens couldn't understand. Our ships are smarter, Lisa said finally. They can change and adapt. The bad ships can only do what they were built to do. Ryan's communication device buzzed with an incoming message from the alien fleet. He put it on speaker so everyone could hear. Human defenders, the alien voice said in perfect English. This is Fleet Commander Zex High of the Centauri Alliance. You are outnumbered 20-1. Surrender now and your deaths will be quick. Ryan picked up the communicator. Commander Zex High, this is Commander Ryan Brooks of Earth Defense. We've fought your alliance before. You should remember how that ended. That was different, the alien commander replied. We have studied your tactics for 5 years. We know how humans fight. You cannot surprise us again. Lisa smiled as she listened to the alien's confident words. They really believed they understood human warfare now. Captain Torres, Ryan said into his communicator, begin Operation Changeling. On the screens, the 12 human ships began to move. But instead of forming a battle line like normal ships would do, they started coming apart. Lisa watched as the Terra's Fury separated into 3 different sections, each one flying in a different direction. What are they doing? The alien commanders. Voice came over the radio, sounding confused. They're adapting, Lisa said quietly. The other human ships began separating too. Within minutes, instead of 12 ships, there were 36 smaller vessels flying in seemingly random patterns. Human ships are malfunctioning, another alien voice reported. They're breaking apart. Lisa could hear the confusion in their voices. The aliens had studied human ships, but they had never seen ships that could purposely come apart and still function. Attack Formation Alpha, the alien commander ordered. Destroy the damaged vessels. The alien ships moved forward in their perfect formation. They were beautiful to watch, like a deadly dance in space. But Lisa knew they were making a mistake. Now, Ryan said into his communicator. Suddenly, the scattered human ship sections began connecting to each other in new ways. Some sections joined together to form larger ships. Others stayed small but linked their weapon systems. The 36 scattered pieces became 18 ships of completely different designs. Impossible, the alien commander said. Ships cannot reconfigure during combat. Human ships can, Captain Torres replied over the radio. Let us show you something else we can do. The 18 human ships attacked the alien formation from 6 different directions at once, but they didn't fight like traditional ships. As the aliens tried to respond to each attack, the human ships would reconfigure again, becoming faster or stronger as needed. Lisa watched one human ship take heavy damage from alien weapons. Instead of retreating, it quickly connected to 2 other ships, combining their shields and weapons into one powerful vessel that could continue fighting. They're sharing resources, the alien commander said with growing panic. The damaged ships are becoming healthy again, and the healthy ships are becoming stronger, Ryan added with satisfaction. The battle continued for 2 hours. Every time the aliens adapted to one configuration of human ships, the ships would change into something new. The aliens found themselves fighting against vessels that could become scout ships, battleships, or support vessels within minutes. Human commanders, the alien voice came over the radio, sounding tired. We request permission to withdraw. Lisa could hardly believe what she was hearing. The aliens were giving up. Withdraw to where? Ryan asked. Beyond the edge of human space, we will not return. How do we know you won't come back in another 5 years? There was a long pause before. The alien commander answered, because we finally understand. Humans do not fight like other species. You do not follow rules that can be studied and predicted. Every time we learn your tactics, you create new ones. Lisa felt proud as she listened. The aliens finally understood. What made humans dangerous? We will tell our leaders that human space should not be invaded, the alien commander continued. Not because humans are stronger, but because they are unpredictable. Fighting humans is like fighting chaos itself. As the alien fleet turned and flew away from human space, the command center erupted in cheers. Emma hugged Lisa tightly. Did we win, Mommy? Yes, sweetheart. We won. 6 months later, Lisa stood on the observation deck of the Terra's Pride, the newest and most advanced modular ship in the human fleet. She wore the uniform of a chief engineer, with symbols showing her important rank. Emma, now 6 years old, pressed her face against the window to look at the stars. Mommy, are there more bad aliens out there? Maybe, Lisa said honestly. But if there are, we'll be ready for them. Ryan joined them at the window. Over the past months, he and Lisa had grown very close. Not just as work partners, but as friends who cared about each other and Emma. The latest reports show that 3 more alien species have decided not to attack human space, Ryan said. Word is spreading that humans are too dangerous to fight. Not too dangerous, Lisa corrected. Too unpredictable. Aliens like things they can understand and control. But humans are always changing and growing. Emma looked up at her mother. Will I be able to build ships like you when I grow up? Lisa smiled. You'll probably build ships that are even better. Each generation of humans creates things that the previous generation never imagined. That's the real secret of human strength, Ryan said. We don't just adapt to survive. We adapt to become something better than we were before. Through the window, they could see other human ships flying in formation. Each one was different from the others, designed by different engineers with different ideas. Some could reconfigure like Lisa's modular ships. Others had new types of engines or weapons that no alien had ever seen. Look at that, Lisa said, pointing to a new ship design. That's completely different from anything we built during the war. Human engineering never stops evolving, Ryan agreed. By the time the aliens figure out how to fight our current ships, we'll have already built ships they can't even imagine. Emma watched the ships flying among the stars. I want to build a ship that can turn into a space station, and maybe a submarine too. Lisa and Ryan laughed. A submarine in space? Ryan asked. Why not? Emma said with the confidence that only a child could have. If ships can change into other ships, why can't they change into anything we want? Lisa looked at her daughter with pride. Emma was already thinking like a human engineer, imagining possibilities that didn't exist yet. The aliens might think they understood humans now, but children like Emma will grow up to create things that would surprise everyone. As the terrorist pride flew toward Earth, carrying new technologies and new ideas, Lisa knew that humanity's future was safe. Not because humans were the strongest or the smartest, but because they would never stop changing, never stop adapting, and never stop dreaming of impossible things. The aliens had learned to fear human unpredictability. But Lisa knew the truth. Unpredictability wasn't sucking the fear. It was humanity's greatest gift to the universe.